Next up, we have Mike Zeller for doing carbon trading from Ecometrics Consulting.
Great, thank you. Yeah, my name is Mike Zeller. From Ecometrics Consulting. We're based out of Capitola, California. Essentially, our company is kind of the hard numbers people. We do measure environmental impacts and then provide sustainable strategic planning for a range of sustainability audits or climate action plans or anything like that. So essentially, I'm going to try to give the 5-minute overview of carbon trading and carbon credits. So typically what we're talking about with a carbon credit is 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide equivalent. So that could be any greenhouse gas. It could be carbon dioxide, it could be methane, nitrous oxide that's converted back into an equivalency of carbon dioxide. So what the neat thing about carbon credits is that it places a price on carbon. So if you're looking at a market that's regulated, firms, governments, countries, states, whatever, are going to, once they have their cap set, they're going to look for the most cost-efficient way to reduce their carbon emissions. So once you have the price on it, it helps to drive innovation in these different sectors with wind or biofuels or solar, or helps promote energy efficiency because people are going to look for the cheapest way to mitigate their greenhouse gases, either by buying credits or attacking the low-hanging fruit and promoting new technologies. So typically, carbon credits or the offsets are generated from emission reducing projects. So that would be like wind or biomass or carbon sequestration or a forestry project. The main point to note about that is that of additionality. So essentially, if there's a project that's coming online, you want to make sure that it's the carbon that it's reducing is outside of the business as usual. So it's not something where a plot of rainforest wasn't going to get cut down anyway, and you're saying that you're going to save it. Well, you're not really reducing any carbon from that. It needs to be something that's above and beyond what would normally happen out of the normal course. So some of the benefits of carbon credits, it works both ways for the buyers and the sellers. The seller gets to, if they're selling their credits to fund a renewable energy project or a forestry project or anything like that, they get the money to fund it. Or if it's in a regulated system where they have excess credits, they can sell off their excess credits to a heavier polluter. The buyer, their main benefit is that they get to mitigate their emissions at a lower cost. So if they do all the low-hanging fruit and there's still a carbon footprint that they need to mitigate, they can come in and buy the credit. So this kind of comes at the end of the process. You take care of your energy efficiency, you look for new technologies that you can come at. If you still have a carbon footprint that you need to mitigate, then you can take care of that with the credits. Some of the criticisms are, one of them is with leakage, which is essentially if there's a policy or a regulation that's put in place in one place that says that you have to mitigate your greenhouse gases, and that just forces industry to move to another place that has lax rules. Well, that just allows the pollution to happen someplace else, and it's not really reducing anything where the original law was implemented. Another issue is with grandfathering in emission credits. So if, that's basically allowing, once you set up a regulated system, you're allowing the polluters to come in with their set baseline of pollution, and they don't have to purchase their initial credits at an auction.
About 1 minute.
1 minute, okay. So cap and trading basics. So the carbon credits are the initial unit that's done in carbon trading, and so if you're looking at something like Kyoto that sets the cap, you have heavier polluters that they need to buy credits to mitigate when they're over the cap. You have other companies that are below the cap, they can sell their credits, and then over time credits are retired, so that reduces the gap, so then you can see where you can get down to your emission reduction targets. And just throw out some numbers, in 2006 there was $5.5 billion of offsets purchased, and that equaled 1.6 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide in regulated markets.
Can you say that again?
In 2006 there was $5.5 billion of offsets purchased in regulated markets, so it's essentially the European and the Kyoto markets. And that translated into 1.6 billion metric tons of CO2 equivalents.
Great. Thanks, Mike. I'm sure we'll have some questions. That's one of the areas that's really confusing in this clean energy sector.